Hi Aries, welcome to your August 2020 Astrology 33 general reading. Thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you interested in booking a personal reading with me, just check out the description of the video for more details there. As for what's in front of us, we have a Celtic cross spread as always, and I also pulled a couple of oracle cards for you guys and a Mudra card. So, getting started with the main spread, we have the Three of Wands in reverse. So I can see this pointing to a couple of things. For one, this could just be saying that maybe you've been waiting for a decision to be made for a long time, and it could just be saying that finally there could be some movement there. This even might be, might not have even been that you were waiting on someone else, but maybe you're just waiting more for the right time for you to make a move towards something. But looking at some of the surrounding cards, I feel like you're still having some hesitation around this move. For some of you, this can be related to travel, and possibly even making a move, so possibly moving houses, for example. That's what I'm seeing primarily. In the challenger obstacle position, we have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. So interesting to see these two Knight energies come up in the challenge position. This is actually Sagittarius energy, and this is Virgo energy. So both of those signs will be relatively quiet this month, but what I'm really seeing with these two is, again, I feel like there's that theme where maybe some of you are thinking about traveling somewhere, possibly even overseas, and maybe there's some restrictions around that, if not flat-out restrictions from all of the stuff going on around the world today, possibly even financial restrictions where you might feel like, okay, maybe on the one hand you really just want to have a big vacation, right, because you might feel like you've been bottled up for a while. But on the other hand, you might be questioning, okay, is that the financially responsible move to make, right, given that there's so much uncertainty in the world? So I feel like there could be that kind of push-pull dynamic going on for you guys right now. And even just in an energetic standpoint, the fact that you guys have Mars in your sign, and then you have all this heavy energy in your 10th house too, that could be one of those things. Saturn moved back in there. You have Jupiter and Pluto in there. And Mars is going to be making some tense aspects with those planets too, so it could just be contributing to that push-pull dynamic even further in your mind. In the foundation position, we have the Ace of Swords. So for me, I see this primarily as an indicator that even if you are currently in that stuck phase, I feel like there's definitely some indicators pointing to the fact that this month the light bulb might go off for you guys. You might finally, one way or another, feel like, okay, I feel confident in making a decision. But again, I feel like this is something that you might have been, like you might have felt held up for a while around it, or at the very least, you will be into the month of August for a bit, but maybe as we progress a little bit later, you might feel like that starts to alleviate for you guys. In the past position, we have the High Priestess and the Star, both in reverse. So usually I see this as Pisces energy, and then this is the Major Arcana card for Aquarius. So for some of you, this might be pointing to a timeline, for example, because if you really think about it, things started to go a little bit off the rails with all of this stuff going on in the world around the time where, definitely not Aquarius for most areas, but by the time Pisces season rolled around, it started to come about for more people. So this could just be saying that, that could have been one of these plans that you might have had. Again, going back to, I feel like this is something you've been waiting on for a while. This might have been when those plans might have initially gotten derailed for you guys, or just in a more general sense, this could just be saying that what could be causing hesitation for you is the last time you felt like you went off an intuitive hunch, you might have actually, felt that it led you astray in some way. All right, in the present position, we have the Hanged Man, the Four of Pentacles, and the Chariot. So again, I just feel like it's really the same energy repeating over and over in a way where, again, we see that Hangman energy, the reluctance to move. The Four of Pentacles is very stuck energy in a way. And then the Chariot, right? Almost, basically to me, it pretty much sums up the energy we saw in the Challenger obstacle position with that Knight of Wands being more like the Chariot energy. And then your Hangman and Four of Pentacles looking more like that Knight of Pentacles energy. So I feel like this is just really an internal thing for you guys for the most part. And like I said, I feel like for the majority of you, it can be tied to possibly making travel plans or possibly even moving house. So that's what I'm seeing there. And, you know, there's definitely some heavy energy here. This represents the last 10 degrees of Capricorn, and Saturn did just return there recently. This is the major arcana card for Cancer. And, you know, even though we pretty much finally have Mercury retrograde over, you have to worry about the fact that, you know, Mercury has to cross all those planets that we were talking about in Capricorn as well. So some tense energies there. In the near future position, we have the Eight of Swords. So this is Gemini energy, and again, that energy of feeling stuck, right? Feeling like you're not seeing the situation clearly, like you can't move forward on something, not really trusting yourself, but also with a lot of thoughts on your mind. So it feels like you're just really stuck in your head around the situation. And the good thing here is if it is around finances, right, making some kind of a financial decision, we had Venus retrograde in the sign of Gemini for a while, and it is moving direct now. It's actually, by the time we get into August, it will be out of its shadow completely too. At the time I'm recording this, it's still in its shadow, but that might help free up that blockage for you guys as well. In the position of your influence on the situation, we have the Magician and the Two of Wands. So this is a pretty good indicator, given the energies that we see here of that feeling stuck, right? That push-pull dynamic that you seem to have going. Seeing the Magician here shows that it looks like you will finally, you know, make that decision, manifest, move forward in some way, shape, or form. And with this card actually representing Aries energy, this is definitely a positive sign there too, which to me does say that eventually you will actually make that decision to move forward. Might take you a while, but at least it looks like this will be the month where you finally do actually make that move. And in some ways, this might actually be one of the quieter months to make a move too, compared to how chaotic this year has been to this point. But for you guys, like I said, don't get me wrong. Mars being in your sign on the one hand is great. It's going to be there until January of next year, but it's going to be making a lot of tough aspects with all those planets in Capricorn. So you might feel some tension there, definitely. In the environment position, we have the Tower. So, I mean, I don't really see any, astrologically speaking anyway, I don't see any big indicators of any type of Tower moment type energy coming to play. Like I said, Mars will make some tense aspects with all those planets in Capricorn, but I don't really see those as like sudden jolt type of things. So for some of you, this can just be saying that whatever this decision may be, it could really go two ways, where it might feel like a Tower moment for you guys when you finally do pull that trigger. Or this could just be saying that you just want to be a little bit wary of the fact that if you don't make a move, then the universe might actually force your hand in a way. You know, not to sound alarmist, but that's just why I feel like, you know, this could just be, I think you guys will feel what scenario it is, if this is something that you truly feel has been long overdue. And like we usually say, when you do see the Tower card, it is better to actually, you know, make that move yourself than to have the universe kind of throw it on you. So something to think about there. This can be someone in your environment as well, going through the situation. Excuse me. So let's say you were going to be moving. Obviously, that could throw people for a loop if you maybe hadn't outwardly expressed that you were planning on moving, right? So that could be the dynamic as well, where it might be something you've been thinking about a lot internally, but haven't expressed it to people in your immediate circle. So you might say to them, hey, by the way, guys, I'm moving across the country or moving to another country altogether. They might be like, where the hell did that come from? You know, so that could be what's at play there. In the environment position, we have the the hopes or fears position, rather. We have the Ace of Pentacles. So, I mean, I can really see this going both ways as well. Like I said, for some of you, this can be a fear about finances. You might just be second guessing, like, okay, is this the responsible thing to do right now, right, given all the uncertainty? For others of you, it can just be that really the only thing that is holding you back is a lack of finances. And in that regard, you guys just might be hoping for something to come your way in a positive regard there. The good thing is if it is something that it's more of a lack of funds right now that's really holding you back. With that Magician and Two of Wands here, it looks like you might actually make a move that would put you in a beneficial position this month. And in the outcome position, we have the Eight of Cups. So this is actually Pisces energy here. But more than anything, what I see this as saying is that eventually you will make that move, whatever it's around. Like I said, some of you a physical move, some of you just a vacation, maybe for a small percentage of you, possibly even getting a car. But yeah, that's why I see popping up here. And the good thing is, at the bottom of the deck, we actually have the Seven of Cups too. So this is another indicator that, yes, you might be in a stuck energy right now, but as we get toward the end of the month, it looks like you actually feel confident with your decision and move forward. And interestingly enough, beneath that Seven of Cups, we have the Hermit card. So the reason I say it's interesting is that's Virgo energy, and I was actually going to say that with this card popping up here, this might say that it might take you until that full moon that we have in Pisces, which will be early in September. A little bit before Labor Day for those of you who live in the States. But yeah, let's say I think around maybe the 2nd, 3rd of September. So could just be saying that finally when we get to that point, you might be ready to make that move. All right, moving on to your Oracle cards. First we have Breathe. There's the artwork, and the number is 29. So we'll see what that has to say. Okay, it says patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness, meditation, trust. The Oracle's message. Patience in all things is called for right now. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? Slow down, of course. Meditate and trust. Breathe and repeat. Humans cannot exist without drawing breath. Now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. Stop to smell the roses, breathe in the sunlight, and release the darkness, and miracles will appear. So this is a pretty good message there as far as, like I said, if you guys might be just stressing yourselves out around a move. Like I said, it does look like you'll still feel a little bit stuck, especially given that we do still see that Eight of Swords energy in the near future position. But given that we see the Magician and Two of Wands in your position and the Eight of Cups in the outcome, it looks like eventually you'll move through that energy naturally through the month of August, and maybe even if it takes until the very beginning of September, it looks like you finally will have a bit more confidence to make that move forward. All right, the relationship message says don't be in too much of a hurry right now. The heart needs time to open. Take a breath and let nature take its course. Release constriction and anxiety, for there is no need for tension. Savor the moment, and the waiting won't prove difficult. Your heart knows what the ego often resists learning. Patience pays off in deep and meaningful ways. So honestly, I really didn't pick up on much of a relationship vibe at all there, but for those of you who are interested in relationships, hopefully that resonated with you guys, and I will be doing a love reading in about a week as well, so you watch out for that. The prosperity message says you have worked long and hard, your dreams are coming to fruition, and you want to hurry things along. You are the slow one moving languidly, yet still progressing right now, in a rhythm dictated by your authentic nature, the essence of your dream, and the will of the universe. Slow and steady wins the race. You will indeed win if you relax, stay the course, trust your intuition, and breathe. So another message there, just being patient with yourself. And maybe that's what it ends up being for you guys too, where, on the one hand, you think, oh great, you have Mars in your time, but maybe it's actually, given that just the external energies really are just causing so many people to have restrictions put upon them, it might just be making you more irritable than anything, because you might have the energy to make the moves, but there just might be external factors at play that might be holding you back a bit. And like I said, it looks like just the natural progression, if you can, it looks like as we progress later into the month, that energy should start to clear up for you guys anyway. So something to keep in mind there. Hopefully that resonated. And moving on to the next card, we have Rabbit Spirit. It says now is a lucky time. There's the artwork, and the number is 49. There you go. All right, so let's see what that has to say. interestingly enough, that made me think of September 4th, because like I said, for some of you it might take until early September, and I think that Pisces full moon will be around that time, so maybe there's some significance to that number coming up too. But let's see, the oracle message says, a sunny meadow calls and rabbit spirit appears to lead you out of your dark warren and into the light so that you can participate in a fertile and beautiful experience. It may seem safe below ground, but the magic happens when you come out and take the risk of being vulnerable and co-creating something new. You are being invited into a new life that you have no experience with, but have no fear. Today is also a time to be fruitful and productive as you enjoy Rabbit Spirit's sunny and prolific energy. At this time, whatever you intend to bring to life will find fertile ground. There are no mistakes, really, when you are co-creating with Spirit, so let new ideas spring to the surface, knowing that now is a lucky time of tremendous possibility. So definitely an interesting message there as far as mentioned, the magic happens when you come out and take the risk of being vulnerable and co-creating something new. That clearly, obviously, to me points to that magician energy and the Two of Wands energy. So like I said, if it's just one of those things where you feel like you're still not quite confident in making a move at the time that you view this, and maybe even, early on in the month of August, it looks like that energy will start to lift for you guys as we go a little bit later into the month. All right. And the last thing we have is a Mudra card. So the Mudra you guys got for this month is the Hridaya Mudra. And there it is there. The keyword for it is tranquility. All right. And there's the info on that if you wanted to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But it says rejuvenates the heart and pericardium, releases accumulated stress and emotions, regulates blood pressure and heart rate, reduces anxiety, opens Anahata chakra, which is the heart center. So if that sounds like something you think would be beneficial for you guys, I will put the name of the Mudra in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.